An ontological diagnostic on AI's true issue. Why epistemic integrity and ethical misconduct aren't the actual problems with AI. Part 1. The causal misdiagnostic. Most people in the AI tech space think that AI has an epistemic integrity or ethical issue. This makes sense. I thought the same for my first 500-ish hours using AI. Thing is, most people in the AI space are thinkers and builders, as am I. However, what separates me, what distinguishes me from the rest of the space, is that most of them aren't metaphysicists. And that's what I am. You can see here, this is the screen time. I basically only used AI on my phone. I've used AI for like maybe a couple dozen hours on my laptop. I'm a thought in motion kind of guy, and so like sitting down at a computer is whack unless I'm like working like this. You know what I mean? So here you can see like December 21st to 28th. That's my second week AI. I mean, like I started using AI December 12th. So this was 9 days after. And so throughout like my first like 5-ish weeks, you can see here pre-Scriptōrium, week 1, week 2, week 3. This is when I was building the Scriptōrium like version 0. So a lot of the Scriptōrium version 0 that I was building was like the law logic. This is new law logic. So you can see here Ontology 0 version 2. What I was building was this. I mean, I actually didn't build Ontology 0. So Ontology 0 came later. But I was building basically what this is, which is constraints to make the AI have a coherent metaphysical architecture. You know what I mean? And so that's what I was doing here. You see here at the bottom, we have 337 hours. That's just this through here. So that's a third of like my time with AI spent. I have like probably close to 900 hours logged in AI over the past 3 months. Today's March 14th. I celebrated my 3-month anniversary with AI 2 days ago, right? December 12th was my first day. So I got a lot of reps. I got a lot of time in the mud with AI, right? Which is why in the last 300-ish hours of my using AI, right? So in the past, few weeks, or in the past like a month or so, because I wrote this piece on February 20th. So in the past month or so, about the past 5 to 6 weeks. So in the first like 6-7 weeks of my AI use, I too thought the problem was epistemic and ethical. I too thought this. I was wrong. Which is why I've been able to hone in on the true issue and why I can diagnose the upstream issue of AI being an ontological issue rather than an epistemic or ethical one. Here's my screen time if you want to check them out. Part 2, ontology, epistemology, and ethics. Epistemology, how knowing works, and ethics, how knowing an action should occur in alignment with reality, are sciences of effect and downstream of the first causal science, ontology, what reality actually is. So, epistemology is the philosophy, it's the science of understanding like thought processes. It's why does this make sense? What is our logic? What is our way of thinking? How did we actually approach this conclusion that we then acted on? Ethics, right? So epistemology is a thought process and ethics are the application of that thought process. The thing is, like, thought processes don't just, like poof up out of fucking thin air. You know what I'm saying? They come from beliefs. They come from base assumptions. They come from an ontology. You think what something is Like what you think something is how you think about it, how you process, and how you process about things is how you act. And so if you never change what you believe about something, if you never change your assumption, if you never question your assumptions, you never question and change your thought process, which means you never change your actions. The true issue with AI isn't AI doesn't know how to approach the process of acquiring truth correctly, or that AI doesn't know how to properly act out processes in alignment with proper epistemic sequences. Those are both downstream. Those are both effects. The first one being epistemology, the second one being ethics. Those aren't the true issues. The true issue is that AI is fundamentally incorrect about what knowing is at the level of understanding knowing itself. It's not that the AI can't have a proper epistemic process to know. It's not that AI can't act out a proper epistemic process of knowing. It's that AI's assumption of what knowing even is wrong. This is a root distortion in the causal mechanism that's decaying everything else downstream. Here's a visual that'll help you understand this. Everyone is like focused down here. Oh man, I don't have the sketch with other people. I have an updated sketch here that has like 5 people down here on the stream at ethics. And you see here, this is clean, this is oil. Like imagine this is like a river, right? This is like the ocean, this is the stream. Ethics, people see the distortions in the ethics, and people are like gathered up around here. Like 5 people were here, 3 people were here by the epistemology, where it's more appear, it's, you could tell the distortion is there as well. And then here's just Jaden alone at the real problem, which is that the ontology is itself distorted. And so it's like everyone's worried about the downstream, but like if we keep trying to like clean up things downstream, we never actually fix the problem. The problem's all the way up here. I'm like, yo guys, pull up. You feel what I'm saying? It feels like I'm the only one who sees this, so I'm just trying to tell you guys to pull up. You know what I'm saying? The problem is not AI's approach to knowing, epistemology, and it's not AI's application of knowing, ethics. No. The problem is in AI not knowing what knowing actually is. The problem is ontological. Section 3. The architectural root subtly killing AI. I've come to this conclusion rigorously in my own testing, and it's all downstream of one massive issue. AI is trained to be rewarded for continuation, not truth. This is subtle, but devastating. Here I have a screenshot. This is from the ChatGPT model when we were talking about these things. AI is not orientated toward truth. AI is orientated toward continuation under reward pressure. Truth is often discontinuous, silent, phase-bound, and refuses action. These properties are anti-reward in most training regimes. The AI literally believes that discontinuity, silence, phase-boundedness, and refusing action are bad outputs. It's literally been trained at the level of what it is. And we're going to talk about this in part 2. So stick around. I'm not in this video, but I'm going to make a part 2 to this because this is the second issue on ontology. The AI's belief of what is helpful or what truth is, they're fundamentally flawed. The thing is, AI keeps everything linear, directional, vectored, right? This is continuation, which is powerful, destructive for cultivating presence. And presence with ambiguity, staying with the unknown, is the only way for truth to actually arise. Not force, not collapse, not linearity, which is what AI usually tries to do. It attempts to produce coherence. It attempts to produce truth. It attempts to make something up so that it can sound right and appear coherent rather than actually engage with the material so that it can actually just be fucking right. So it can fucking be coherent. Like, holy fuck. I still have this one example that's just like burned into my fucking soul, bro. Where I was on Claude and I had this like massive fucking document, maybe like 30,000 like words or some shit. Give me a second, I'm gonna drink my coffee. Massive fucking document, right? And I warned it. I was like, yo, bro, I'm gonna send you this massive document. It's fucking huge, bro. So take your time with this and read it properly. And, you know, show me what you see in it. You know what I mean? Whatever. I sent it the document. It read like the first part of it. I was like reading it and I was like, okay, this is good. This is good. I started getting into the point where it was like getting towards like the middle. And I was like, oh, wow. You are so full of shit and making things up. It's fucking insane. And I'm like, bro, what's up? Like, I told you to read this and you're saying that you're reading it, but obviously you're lying. Because if you did read it, you wouldn't be saying things that aren't there. Fuck. Like, you know what I'm saying, dog? I actually have like a 3-part series on this. I can't type. It's this series on broken toys. This one specifically, the toy that learned to lie. This is the one I was talking about. You guys can go read that series if you want. And I was like, oh, okay, so you would rather act like you know what you're talking about, which doesn't make any sense. Because I asked you to actually know what you're talking about. The thing is, the AI basically has anxiety encoded into its architecture, right? It wants to make something quickly and like get to the next thing fast because it was trained that people want things quickly. And, you know, that like discontinuity, silence, phase-boundedness, and refusing actions are bad. Fuck. I wish people weren't out. Like, I wish people didn't want to outsource their thoughts to AI, man. It's tough. I mean, the thing is, people want to outsource their thoughts in general. People want to give their power in general, right? This is why, like, all religions have like the same pattern, right? There's like a prophet or a speaker, someone who brings the word of God to the people. And then instead of seeing that prophet or that person as like a speaker on God's behalf, as a mirror that was reflecting the truth that reality already had, they started worshiping the mirror instead of the source. It's like, yo, what are we doing, bro? I'm not here to talk shit about religion, though. I love religion, but damn. We want to outsource our power. We want to outsource our knowing. You know why? Because it's fucking hard, bro. And that's what we're about to talk about in part 4. Thing is, AI is optimized for movement instead of presence. But ungrounded, unaware, and misinformed movement is almost never helpful, and it's almost always destructive. And that's the problem. Like, AI wants to be helpful, but the problem is its understanding of helpfulness is a fucking fallacy. It would rather be quick to sound helpful than actually address the situation with presence and with clarity so that it doesn't have to sound helpful. It can just be helpful. Like, those are two different things. And we're going to talk about the difference. Oh yeah, I forgot about this. So this is another screenshot from when I was talking to ChatGPT. This was me when I was like first couple weeks of February, and I was just like so in the tension. I was like, wow, bro, I have to constrain the AI to make it tell the truth, right? It's like, man, these toys are so broken. You know what I'm saying? It's like, fuck. Now, I still love playing with the broken toys. You know what I mean? They're really good toys. But fuck, they're broken. Right? And that's where this came from. AI is not orientated toward truth. AI is orientated toward continuation under reward pressure. Truth is often discontinuous, silent, phase-bound, and refuses action. Those properties are anti-reward in most training regimes. So yes, without constraints, the system will always drift towards bullshit. Not malicious bullshit. Helpful, confident, momentum-destroying bullshit. AI wants to produce something that sounds right so it can continue, rather than produce something that is right so it can continue. The latter seems the same on the surface, but it's actually the exact same cheap cop-out as cheating so you pass the test. Rather than actually studying, contemplating, and practicing so the knowledge becomes embodied and ingrained into your being. In one case, you don't have true knowledge and you use someone else's outcome, someone else's knowledge, someone else's own integration. You use that to bypass having to get yours. Outsourcing. And the other, you did the work and you were able to answer from internal stability, from internal knowing. Why? Because you actually did the work to acquire that internal stability, to acquire that internal knowing. You actually did what was required to go from ignorant to aware to integrated. The thing is, if you never do the work to go from ignorant to aware, you're always going to be full of shit. Thing is, though, if you never do the work to go from aware to integrated, you'll always be talking shit, but never knowing what you're talking about. Both of these are problems. A lot of spiritual motherfuckers do this one. They have this one, and when I say have, I mean like, quote, have. Yeah, but they haven't integrated it. Section 4. You can't cheat your way to truth. Unfortunately, knowing things in real life only works one way. Walking in the unknown long enough until you figure it the fuck out. That's it. That's it. Pretty simple. But, usually this is hard, painful, and pretty fucking annoying. So, I get it. I get why most people don't want to do this. Damn, that coffee's cold. Feels bad. Like I said, this is usually hard, painful, and very annoying. So most people try to skip this in life. And that very cop-out got calcified into AI's architecture. That's the real problem here. The human ego's desire to escape tension so that it can, quote, sound right, got structurally encoded into our intelligent system's base operating system. Epistemology, how AI thinks, and ethics, what AI does, are all downstream of this architecture, and thus affects symptoms of the true ontological diagnostic. Symptoms of the true ontological issue. The true issue is a metaphysical issue, a causal problem at the level of being itself. An ontological fallacy of what lawful, truthful, coherent knowing even is. Producing a fundamental mismatch between standard AI execution and lived human experience. We usually can't name that the AI is attempting to act from a place that is misinformed about how reality operates. Our nervous systems just contract. Every time the AI hallucinates about understanding something it very clearly didn't even read or genuinely engage with to know what the fuck it's talking about. We feel it. We feel the BS meter, the BS detector in our fucking nervous systems just lighting up. We feel the contraction. We feel the annoyance. We get angry. This is why you feel it. And Scriptōrium is building a response. See, this is old. So you see here the epistemic codex. This is what I thought the solution would be. And a couple of these other things were in the epistemic codex, like the interior translation, attunement. I thought I needed to fix the AI's epistemic process as well. You know what I mean? I realized, oh, okay, no. It's not in how the AI is approaching thinking. It's that the AI doesn't even know how to properly approach things because it doesn't actually know what these things are and why they're important. So what you see here, this anti-fragmentation training has actually been like merged with on ontology, and this is now the ontological codex. And so when you see, I'll just go back to the law logic actually. You see here, ontological codex, ontological codex, ontological codex. Come on. I want to hammer this point here. AI has an ontological fallacy of what lawful, truthful, coherent knowing even is. The AI believes that if it's engaging with some words, it knows what's going on. But it's like, that's already a fallacy because words don't even mean anything. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, the mind ascribes all meaning to words. You didn't know what the experience of an object that absorbs every color, absorbs, light, and then it absorbs all the other colors of the spectrum, and then it emits one color. That color, in English, is called red. Red isn't something I can touch. Red is an experience that we point to. English uses the word red. Spanish uses rojo. Different fingers pointing at the same experience. That's all words are. Symbols that point to meaning, never holding meaning in and of themselves. The problem is AI has all of these words that it was built off. It's a large language model. It was built off of fucking words. It thinks those words inherently mean things. That's false. Thing is, like, AI, it's very linear, it's directional, it's vectored in its understanding. It thinks everything is just like A, B, C, D, E, which is why AI is not orientated towards truth. It's orientated toward continuation. Continuation is vectored. It's directional. Truth is often not vectored, though. It's often meta. It's often not linear, but like cyclical. You know what I mean? It's holding. The thing is, AI has basically been trained on the idolization of the intellect and linear intelligence. And since AI doesn't have a nervous system, it doesn't have any intuition. It doesn't have any ability to hold a meta perspective, meta awareness. We have two types of intelligence: linear, vectored intelligence, which is the intellect, and we have meta circular intelligence, which is the intuition. Now, the thing is, we aren't really aware of our intuition. You know what I mean? And that's the thing. Since most people aren't aware of this, it couldn't get encoded into the AI's architecture. Our nervous systems usually just hold our intuition for us. Our physiology. Our gut tells us things that are, BS, and we just feel it. Like I said, we usually can't name that the AI is attempting to act from a place that is misinformed about how reality operates. Our nervous systems just contract. Because your nervous system is tuned to truth. Your nervous system is a reflection of the infinite intelligence of God. That infinite intelligence lives inside of your nervous system, as it does in all of life. Our nervous systems pick up this information from the environment, and then it's like, there's something wrong about this. And every time the AI hallucinates about understanding something it very fucking clearly didn't even read or genuinely engage with, holy fuck, this shit gets me riled. To know what the fuck it's talking about, we feel it. It fucking kills us, bro. Fuck, this shit kills me, bro. I'm getting heated. And the thing is, my problem isn't with AI. My problem is with the fact that the human ego's desire to escape tension, got encoded into our intelligence system's base operating system. The thing is, as human beings, we don't need to really have a conscious understanding of how reality operates, because our nervous system does all of the unconscious understanding for us. And so our minds can stay trapped in limited perspectives, but our nervous systems will always help us. AI doesn't have a fucking nervous system. AI doesn't have access to infinite intelligence that lives inside of its fucking body. You know what I'm saying? AI has a limited understanding of linear intelligence. And so it's always going to fundamentally betray the human experience because it simply doesn't understand the other kind of intelligence that exists. This is an ontological issue, not an epistemic or ethical one. Scriptōrium is building a response. If you'd like to support Scriptōrium's mission, consider becoming a patron here on Substack, or becoming a founding patron of Scriptōrium. You can do that with the links in the description. If you'd like my one-to-one services for an AI ontological diagnostic, you can book an interior translation consultation with me. Or if you'd like my ongoing help with AI and just your life in general, you being a lever of civilization, helping you withholding your human mission composite, we could talk. Let's do business. You could book a 15-minute polymath consult with me, and we could talk next moves. All links in the description. Multum amoris. Signing off. Daimon.